I have been powdering a lot of my foods for a couple different reasons, and I kind of talk about them in each of those videos. But if you have any suggestions on what works best for rehydrating food, we're going to kind of experiment with this in the future. Not in today's video, but we are going to go through the whole dehydrating process together. And yeah, if I'm just going to keep doing these dehydrating videos because there's lots that I want to show as I go through different foods and talk about these little different nuanced things that have to do with dehydrating, and hopefully learn from you as well if you've got tips or tricks that you've learned that have helped along the way. I enjoy that as well. So today we're going to do these carrots, and let's get right to it. To prepare these carrots for the dehydrator, I'm going to peel them. My carrots are pretty clean, and even if they weren't clean, after a good scrub, they might be fine to just have the skins left on for this. But this is a trial run, so I just wanted to make sure that they were nice and clean and consistent for today. After peeling, I cut both ends of the carrots off. Now, when cutting on the stem end, what I'm doing is making sure there is no more green visible. I find that the green gives off a more bitter flavor to the carrots, so I wanted to make sure everything looked good and orange. And a side note, if you're storing carrots long term, you also want to make sure to get past the green, as this can result in the carrots getting soft and spoiling much sooner than if the green is completely removed. While cutting carrots by hand could work just fine, and I may try that in the future, today I wanted to have more consistency and thinner slices that my food processor can offer. I'm sure a mandolin slicer as well would work great for this. I just didn't have one, so I brought the machine out. When the carrots were done being sliced, I originally thought I'd try to separate out the smaller pieces into a bowl, but I quickly realized that this would be doubling my work. So I went and grabbed my dehydrating trays, and as I took the carrots out of the food processor container, I put them directly onto the trays. I set aside any pieces that were too small and would fall through the gaps. These carrots didn't even fill 3 full trays. I plan to set the smaller pieces aside and just throw them into something that I'm cooking over the next day or so, or just have them as a snack. I realized that if I got one of my tray liners out, I could just spread them kind of evenly throughout the tray and nothing would fall through, and then they could go in as well. I didn't line the first 2 trays of carrots because I didn't want to inhibit any of the heat and airflow that the liners sometimes can. The liners are great, and I really think that it's a pretty minimal slowdown, but it does happen, and I just wanted to give them just as much exposure to the heat and air as possible. But you'll see in a second that I probably could have and maybe should have lined all 3 trays with my liners. Here are the carrot pieces after only 90 minutes. While I let them fully dehydrate for 8 hours, I wanted to show you how much they shrunk up in such a short period of time. For this reason, I could have maybe used liners on all the wire racks, as some of the pieces that I thought were large enough ended up falling through. But it was a good thing that the tray with the liner was on the very bottom, because it was able to catch any pieces that fell down. After the carrots were entirely dried, I vacuum sealed the jar of carrots. I love this new little machine. Because I couldn't find any in stores near me, I did have to buy it online. If you store dry goods in mason jars and want to keep it as fresh as possible, or maybe won't be consuming it right away, I highly recommend picking up one of these. I don't have a Food Saver vacuum sealer, which do have attachments that you can buy for doing mason jars. So I just picked up this standalone one, and it's been great. It's been so fantastic and works for both regular and wide mouth jars. The wide mouth vacuum sealer piece is just under the regular mouth one. So all you have to do is twist the regular mouth one off. It is a great design. This is super short and simple. The process is easy and the results are awesome. Thanks for being here. Some exciting food dehydrating and other kitchen projects are coming up. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.